The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Matthew. At that time Jesus said, I thank you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the intelligent, and have revealed them to infants. Yes, Father, for such was your gracious will. He continued, all things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart, and you will find rest for your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light. The Gospel of the Lord. Today's first reading is from the book of the prophet Zechariah, one of the later of the prophetic books in the Old Testament. It's primarily used in two different ways. One on Gaudete and Laetare Sundays, that is the third Sunday of Advent and the fourth Sunday of Lent, because of the great theme of rejoicing, which is held here. Rejoice greatly, O daughter Zion. Shout aloud, O daughter Jerusalem. Lo, your king comes to you. Triumphant and victorious is he, humble and riding on a donkey, on a colt, the foal of the donkey. That last part of it also shows the second time when this reading is used, and that is on Palm Sunday. It's one of the readings that reflects on what Jesus did in fulfilling this prophecy, when a week before his death, he entered triumphantly into the city of Jerusalem, triumphant and victorious, yet humble, and riding on a donkey, a colt, the foal of a donkey. But there's another interesting little verse in there, which for us as Canadians has particular interest. His dominion shall be from sea to sea. The coat of arms of the Dominion of Canada has as its motto, A Mare usque ad mare, a dominion from sea unto sea. We find it here. We find it also in identical words in the 72nd Psalm, and it serves as the motto for our country. Our gospel passage is clearly tied in to the first reading, as is normally the case. The first reading is chosen to reflect the theme of the gospel passage. But there are several striking things about it as well. At the beginning of it, Jesus offering a little prayer of thanksgiving to his Father. I thank you, Father, Lord of heaven and earth, because you have hidden these things from the wise and the intelligent, and you have revealed them to infants. For such was your gracious will. And then a middle part of this reading, which if you didn't know better, you would almost think was coming from St. John's Gospel, where it speaks so often of the relationship and knowledge of the Father and the Son for each other. Yet this is Matthew's Gospel. All things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, and no one knows the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son chooses to reveal him. And then at the end of it, what's probably the most favorite part of this passage for so many people, a call to come and to lay one's burdens on Christ. Come to me, all you that are weary and are carrying heavy burdens, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn from me, for I am gentle and humble in heart. And that's probably the reason why the first reading was chosen. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light.